Kate, how's the season been looking?
Well, I'm starting to wish that my irrigation was in already. I haven't done enough to really compare it, but I think it's all right. We put the crops in a bit earlier, so they're looking all right. But I don't have the luxury of irrigation yet to sort of be able to time things. So looking forward to getting it this year.
You're still going through the red tape?
No, I think it's a confidence thing for me really, because I'm just learning how to farm, and I didn't want to, it was too hard to sort of farm and learn how to irrigate as well, and it costs a lot of money, and I just needed to do the figures and make sure I was doing the right thing.
But your boys are there?
My boys are there, yeah, I've got 2 boys there, and they're doing a great job. Yeah, they are. And we've been surveyed now for the irrigation, so it's all happening. And some days I get excited, and some days I think, oh, what am I doing?
The good thing is we've just had $1 million rain.
Well, I think it's a great rain, except I'm starting to be a typical farmer. We're about to harvest the lupins, and we can't do that, of course, when it's raining, so it's given us a bit of a break in the harvest. Well, actually, we haven't started the harvest yet, but it's great for the grass. Yeah, of course it is.
Obviously, we're not far away from an airfield.
It's a local flight path, yeah. It doesn't always happen, but that's okay.
How's the harvest been looking?
Yeah, they are looking all right, yes, they are. They are, and we don't have the luxury, and we don't have the yield of the irrigated guys, but they're all right. Yeah, they're all right, but you never count it until it's in the silo, until it's in the bin, and so until we get the header through, we won't really know what they're like.
The other thing is that with cropping farming, you're not getting the returns you used to.
Oh, they're not. No, they're not, because we do mainly wheat and barley. I mean, we've got lupins and peas, but the wheat we do feed wheat and bread wheat. And the feed wheat, the price has just gone down, and mainly it's the dairy farmers. So we have to decide: do we keep it for ourselves or do we sell it? And what I've found out with grain too is that the seed chaps love to have it stored in our silos rather than pay for it. So you can't just keep amassing silos. So it's a wee bit of a frustration when you can't get rid of your grain.
So basically, it's sort of halved really, because it was 400s and now it's down into the 200s.
Yeah, wheat is about 450 down to 280 a tonne. Yeah, so that's quite a big drop. Of course, we don't have to sell it at 280. But where else do you sell it? And so you can store it for so long, but then you need the silo for the next season. So I'm learning all these frustrations about farming, but it's great fun.
There's a whole lot of regulations that are in the wind, and I think we're just going to have to wear them, aren't we?
Oh, I think we are going to wear it. I mean, it all came from Pike River, really, and I think in some respects our health and safety attitude was lax, but then you've got to get that balance right, don't you? I mean, you don't cut down the trees in case someone falls out of a tree, and I don't know, now that I'm in the farming business, which is not as dangerous as worm farming, I gather, but
oh, that was a cheap one.
I know, I'm glad I'm not a politician anymore, but we still have to be sensible about it. And we've got a young work experienced chap on the farm, and you've just got to make sure that he does the right things and learns the right way. So you've always got to be conscious about it. But you can't have it stifle what you're doing either. So let's see what happens when we put it into practice, whether it has gone too far the other way or whether it's about right.
You used to campaign very hard for safety in quad bikes.
Yeah, and I still believe in it. I mean, quad bikes are dangerous. And they're tools, good tools, but they're not toys. And you do have to be careful. Yeah, they're big machines, but they're very useful as well. So if you use them properly, they're a great asset to most farming. But again, I think you've got to be careful when you're assessing the statistics, because admittedly we have too many deaths on quad bikes, but they're not all on farms. And I think the last one was on a beach. So you do have to be very careful not to blame farming for all those fatalities. I mean, every fatality is one too many, of course, but if you use a quad bike properly and sensibly, then they're a fantastic tool on your farm.
And thinking about stats, I mean, that's how the worm farm thing got out of control, wasn't it?
Oh, I do. I mean, statistics are a bit like that, isn't it? I mean, 100% of nothing is still nothing, isn't it? So you do have to be a wee bit careful. But however they assess farming, they are dangerous places, and they're full of hazards that you've got to be careful with. And we've got a young chap who's sort of work experience. He's at school. I mean, we pay him, of course, minimum wage, but it's great for him. And we have to sort of look at things with fresh eyes and say, well, actually, these are hazards that we know about, but he doesn't. So it's good for us to actually appreciate that. I mean, it's a bit like a bit like a new puppy, isn't it? As you saw my new puppy, which I'm very, very happy with. But everything's new. So again, when you've got a new young worker, you've got to look at things with fresh eyes, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
You can't assume that he doesn't need training?
Are you talking about the worker or the puppy?
Both, actually.
No, you're right. I mean, they both need training, and they don't have the advantage of however many years we have of experience. So you just do have to look at it with fresh eyes. Having said that, I'm not young either, and so some of the hazards I'm not used to as well. So it's sort of teaching old dogs as well as new dogs.
Common sense, is it still relevant?
I mean, you'd like to think so. I think so. I think most people are sensible. I think the health and safety issue is more about attitude, and it's the she'll be right attitude, rather than a lack of common sense. So I don't have any problem with highlighting the need to be careful, but I do have a problem if we get regulated too far the other way, that sort of dumbs down the regulation, dumbs down us really, I suppose, and sort of is regulating for common sense, and it makes it too hard, and it makes you too reliant on rules rather than reliant on your own common sense and nous, and I think that's a danger too.